Hi, Evie Girl here. So I am doing an interview series. It's with the Sacred Water, Visionary Women at Freedom, and I'm hopping on with Anandria today. So let me just add her so we can get going. Just went retrograde. I can already feel some of the retrograde. Hey, Anandria, do you see the invite? Can you hop on? Oh, yeah, I think she's hopping on. Cool. Hey.
Hello. Oh, it's on the wrong camera. Come on. There we go.
I love it. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I love your hair. It looks really cool like that.
Thank you. The product of braiding it at night.
Yeah, sometimes too. Well, not at night, but like in the day, and then I just like get out and it's a little bit, yeah. Okay, so I wanted to connect with you because we first met at the Airbnb in San Diego. And yeah, I loved your energy, your vibe, and just that we got to, come together and make content, just have fun. And I love that we get to do that in our community. And I love that you also have shared certain things, like how you shared in our huddle in one of our meetings, just how to support with content and have fun, but show up authentically. And then also what I've seen a little bit from your content is you speak a little bit about kind of behavioral things that you've had to kind of work with, I believe like ADHD and certain things around that, which I can totally understand and identify with as well. So I wanted to learn a bit more about you and just kind of have you share a little bit of your journey and like what did you do before or who were you before, and then how did, I'm calling it the sacred water because of the transformation this water offers. What was it that brought you into this space? And then we can talk a little bit more about the space itself and just how it's nurtured you and just all those kind of things is where I would love to go with you today.
Beautiful. Thank you. So you'd like for me, just to clarify, you'd like for me to start with like where I was before I started here? Is that
Yeah, for sure. And if
okay?
that includes a little bit of some of the behavioral things you've experienced, I would love just to share that authentic story of, what
Okay.
real life women go through and how, we can struggle, and then how do we work with ourselves to kind of empower.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you for clarifying. Okay, well, I'll start with I was diagnosed with ADHD about 5 months ago, and it makes a lot of sense to me because I didn't understand sort of what was going on because I was having a lot of what's called what I now have a word for, which is executive dysfunction. And so I'm really creative. I've got a lot of ideas. I'm able to execute when I'm excited and especially when I'm under high pressure. And that was something, and I was in the gifted program when I was a kid. I did not pay attention in class, but still got straight A's. I would do my homework from other classes while, like, if I was in math class, I'd be doing my reading. If I was in, my reading class, I'd be doing my math homework. And it's just what I've just learned early on. I was like, well, I want to get good grades. So in order to get good grades, I need to do this. And so I just naturally did that, which is really great because a lot of kids, especially if they are diagnosed, but I wasn't diagnosed, I was just in the gifted program. They tend to be like, oh, there's something wrong with you. Here, take some meds. But my parents were entrepreneurs actually, like they had their own business and like, they were kind of different too, right? Like I'm 100% certain that my father had ADHD as well and was never diagnosed. And I mean, that leads to entrepreneurship, to be honest, because it's a different way of thinking that ends up like leading you to alternative paths. And working a job is not something that I've ever really loved at all.
Yeah.
The only job I ever had that I really enjoyed was I did door to door for 6 years, which
Oh,
like we have ADHD and being able to stay at a job for that long is pretty impressive to be honest, because having that, like, we like structure, but also structure like makes us feel like we're trapped in a cage. But what was great about this job that I did, which kind of, is like a precursor and can maybe start my story of how I got here. But I was working in an environmental nonprofit doing door to door for 6 years. They moved me up into management pretty quickly and I became a canvas director. And so I worked in different states all over the country, and every day was different for me. It was the best job I've ever had. And I keep saying it's the last job that I'll ever have, because there's nothing that could give me that freedom, because it was performance based. And, we had a quota every night, but I was like, yeah, no, the quota, I don't care. I'm going to make way more so that I can actually make a bonus. Like, I'm very motivated by bonuses and by achievements. And we had these cute little things where if you raised over $300, then you got a fish on the wall. I had the most fish on the wall because
Oh,
I
I
like
love that.
competition. It was cute.
The
So,
sports when you were like, were you motivated because of like that kind of teamwork and like achieving in that way, or you just, regardless of sports, you just had that achievement kind of I don't know, like part of you that just kind of was always like that?
yeah, I've always been really competitive, especially when it comes to things that I can use my brain for. I'm not super coordinated with sports.
Yeah.
I have never really done it's like I do spin fire, but I don't do well with, sort of like coordinated dance movements. Like, I never took a dance class because it just aggravated me. I don't know. It just is what it is. And so, the teamwork aspect of that job was amazing, 100%. And also because I was challenged, like it was a challenge every single night. It was a job where you literally never knew what was going to happen. You had no idea who was going to open the door. And like, I would run, because I was the manager, I would run little contests with my crew to be like, okay, who can get the most dinners? And made it focused on the fun, because when people were focused on the fun of it, then they actually fundraised way more. And so when I led the cruise, they did really, really well, because I just made it really fun. And I was like, okay, well, who can get the most pens? Like, okay, the office is out of stapler, like, doesn't have a stapler. Who's going to get the best stapler? It's just like,
I love
just
that.
fun things like that. Um, and so I
Like
did end
our
up getting,
vehicle too,
go ahead.
right? That fun aspect, like the more fun we have, the more, abundance and things flow, money we make, and that kind of aspect too. So maybe that seed was planted in that way from that job too.
Totally. I mean, and we called it the Tao of canvassing, where it was just like, it's like the energy of who you are ripples out and allows you to bring in, whatever it is that you're wanting. So it's like there's so much transferable skills from that job for sure.
Yeah. So what was it from that job? Was it when you were in that job that you came across this vehicle, or how does that bridge happen?
Yeah, so what ended up happening for me was like jobs do, when you have to ask for permission to live your life, it just didn't sit well with me. And I ended up quitting that job because my boss, okay, so I was like the canvas director. So I was in charge of the office in Texas, and I wanted time off because I didn't take any of my time off, and like at all. So I was way overdue for some time off, and I was like, I want a month off for my birthday. I want to go see the redwoods. I'd never been to the West Coast yet. I was like, I want to go to these festivals. And then my boss kept like chipping away at it, because like the whole organization wasn't making the goals that they needed to make. And then it was like, oh, you have a week and a half instead of a month off. And I was like, okay, well, whatever. I'll go to my festival and do my thing. But at the same time, Standing Rock was happening. And I really wanted to go to Standing Rock, and I really wanted to bring supplies, and I wanted to just like get kind of reinvigorated in the environmental movement, because I had been doing it, professionally for 6 years. And my boss called me on my birthday and treated me like a child. She literally was like, well, adults go into work when they're supposed to go into work. And I was just like, and she called me on my birthday, and I was just like, I can't be talked to like this. Like, I need to be able to follow my own flow in life. And that was my line in the sand moment where I decided to quit the job. And so my very last day was the first day that, back when Trump got elected the first time, his first day, being elected was my last day of work. And then from there, I was living off of my savings. I was trying to figure out, how am I going to, step into my entrepreneurship, and what am I going to do? So I've tried literally everything, right? It's like I have so many skills and so many like things that I've learned that I can monetize, which it comes, I think, with the ADHD, right? Where it's like, okay, a fast learner, creative thinker, also bored with stuff. So it's like, okay, I'm going to learn the next thing in
Multi-purpose.
the
Yeah.
day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for probably, I think it was like 5 years, I was
Mhm.
living in a vehicle. Actually, I lived in a car, then I lived in a van, and then I lived in an RV, and I didn't do like a ton of traveling necessarily. I landed in Ashland, Oregon area and really loved it. Like there's just so much that I love about it here, especially the community and the nature here is amazing. And we have a hot springs. I mean, it's, it's kind of all the things you could want.
Bagby. Bagby Hot
And
Springs. I don't know if that's
what,
close by. Bagby
which
Hot
one?
Springs? Bagby?
No, the Jackson Well Springs. And I'm
Isn't
also
that
pretty close.
closer to Portland, right?
No, Ashland is Southern Oregon.
Okay, no, but that's where I've been.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you. By
yeah.
the way, I actually can't see you.
Oh, you can't? Oh,
No.
weird.
I just decided to roll with it because this has happened to me before. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's my phone or what's the deal, but I can't see you. But hi.
Okay.
Anyway.
It's okay. We don't need good technology to share our stories, right?
No, exactly. It's like I don't need to see you. That's why I didn't bring it up earlier. But anyway, so yeah, so I started I'm a DJ, I spin fire. So what I was doing was just picking up a lot of gig work, and then I was also an event producer, and I all of those things were working for me. I was able to support myself while living in a van. I was, doing graphic design and photography and videography and running sound and like you name it, I do it in the event industry. And then 2020 hit and we all know what happened then. They shut down the world and there was absolutely no more opportunity for me to actually make an income. And so I was living off of the government money because I did have an LLC for my entertainment business and I was able to get some money. So I was sort of like trying to figure out what the heck am I going to do? And I really wanted to work online. I really wanted to be able to travel, to have a homestead, which I do now. And I have traveled to 4 new countries since I've been in this business. But I really, really, really wanted that freedom and also to be able to make like a high income while helping people and being able to share my art. Because it's like all these different artistic endeavors that I do, I don't have to push it hard anymore. It's like I still DJ and get paid. I still spin fire and get paid. I still host events when I feel like it's coming from a place of overflow, but I don't have to force it anymore, which is really great. So I yeah, I saw this when me and my partner actually were stranded in Mexico because we just didn't think that it was going to cost as much to drive an RV through Mexico, but turns out it cost a lot more than we expected. I looked at my bank account, I had $100 left, and I was like, it's not even going to pay for gas.
Oh my God.
And so I went on a doom scroll moment and I ended up seeing a woman online who was living in Costa Rica. She was like literally doing exactly what I wanted to do. She was living in Costa Rica. She was like zip lining through the jungle and riding horses on beaches. And I was just like, what are you doing? Like, I was just like so distraught about the position that I was in. And then seeing someone else who, and at the time she said that she made the more money in 1 month than she had made an entire year of hustling her art at festivals. And I was just like, okay, got it. What you doing? And so I watched a master class and like you do, and I was like, okay, yep, I'm 100% in. Let's go. And of course, but I had to get home first, right? And then I needed to move into my new house that after living in vehicles for so long. And it was a big swirl. And it was a lot of just being creative. Here comes that ADHD again. It's just like my brain is constantly in solution mode. Like it never stops. It just wants to figure out what is the most optimized way to do anything and how do I fix this problem? Like I hate saying this, but there's a part of me that loves stress and pressure, which is why the event industry was so good for me and door to door was so good for me, because my brain is just like, okay, I've got the best possible option for you. And I just run with it. And so we were able to figure out how to get home, how to move into our house. And like I said, now I've traveled to 4 new countries. I've spent 2.5 months in Bali. I've been to Japan, Sweden, and Australia. And I've also, traveled across the US, and I've gone to Florida, and I went to Vegas, and I was able to be with my father when he was passing over in Pennsylvania. And like, there's so much opportunity that I would not have had if it wasn't for this business. So I'm
That's
very
amazing.
grateful.
Sorry to hear about your father, but that is amazing for sure. And I feel like that's the biggest thing is, I did a lot of arts and healing arts and things like that. And I got burnout. I mean, I had hypothyroid while I was in nutrition school. And it sounds like, the arts that you were doing and you still get to do, like you said, you get to do it from overflow rather than being in that hustle mode. It's more of like showing up because you choose to. And then having this business as a vehicle, which is so much more than a business too, like, I mean, all the friendships and all the things and the fact that you got to go to 4 different countries. Did you go to Okinawa last year?
I did.
Yeah, yeah, me too. That's amazing. So what about the water itself? What has that done for you? Have you noticed much with kind of, I mean, obviously the way that you're speaking about your ADHD, it's a gift, right? Like the way that you're sharing about it, which is amazing. And has there been aspects of the water itself that has just supported maybe, I know for me with my ADHD, sometimes I used to get a lot of brain fog, and that's kind of how I got into the nutrition world, and I ended up going gluten free and seeing my brother, he's vaccine injured, and seeing how food really changed his life. That's what inspired me as well. And the water has changed me and my brother. And I've seen so many countless people just support the gut brain relationship and just being able to have, clear ways of thinking because the hydration, we don't always realize how important hydration is until you actually have the water and you're like, whoa, like this is what life can be like. Yeah. Can you speak a little bit about the water itself and just any of that impact with your health or just how you feel about it or the vibration? Yeah.
Yeah, great question. So before I was drinking the water, okay, so I knew about the water for 10 years. Like I knew that I always wanted a machine. It was just a matter of me being like, okay, when am I going to do it? And I did actually laugh when I saw the master class, and like, cause the woman that I saw sharing about this, she was not saying what the product was. She's like, you don't have to pitch products and you can do this business however you want. But when I literally was like, I have a feeling this is Kangen water. And I watched it, and then I literally cracked up and was like, yep, okay, yeah, I'm going to do this 100%. And part of it is because I knew how the water made me feel whenever I drank it. So if you haven't ever had it before, it's got this, it's one, it tastes better than any water you're ever going to have. And then there's also this like light and fluffiness to it. Like when I
Yeah.
drink normal water now, I'm just like, this is heavy and like dense, and it like, that's why we say it's alive. Like the water feels alive. It's electrolyzed. It literally has an electrical charge, which we are electrical beings. So it's really important for us to be consuming things that aren't dead, because that's just going to take from us instead of give. So for me, with my ADHD and brain fog and all of that, it's 150% helped me with my brain fog for sure. I also used to have and this is something, I'm not diagnosed with this, but I sense that I also have this, but I think I'm also on the autistic spectrum. And so people who are on the autistic spectrum, something that I'm sort of getting anecdotal evidence from all of the, different groups that I'm in learning about this, but tend to have connective tissue issues. Like I have this thing where all of my joints overextend, and then so it can also cause problems with your gut. And so I had gut issues my whole life. I didn't know why. There was nothing I could do. It didn't matter what I ate. I just sort of accepted it as normal. And since drinking this water, I no longer have those issues. Like it used to hurt when I ate. Like I don't want to TMI, but everybody knows what happens when you don't have good digestion, right? And
Yeah.
so I was having all those issues, and it was just uncomfortable whenever I ate. And so I actually like kind of had an avoidance to eating a little bit sometimes, because like, oh God, I'm going to eat and then it's going to suck, right? And so since drinking the water, that no longer happens. And my biggest like aha moment, I guess, with the water is when I was in Bali. So I was there for 2.5 months. I was able to get the water for my first month. And then my second month, I couldn't because I was in more of the outskirts and I didn't bring my machine. And I totally regretted not bringing my machine.
Right, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah.
Just like, why didn't I bring it? Like, it would have been a pain in the
Oh,
butt a little bit, but at the same time, like, what I get, hi Beth, what I get in the way I feel in my body is worth it. Like, it's
no,
so worth
no.
it.
It's such a difference. Even when we were at the Airbnb, we didn't have it, and we had to get it from, the Anadria golf course. And like, I was like panicking a little bit because yeah, me too. I feel such a huge difference. So I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I get like water anxiety. I'm like, oh my
Me
God,
too.
I'm
Me
like,
too.
oh my God, I only have one bottle left instead of
I
five. Like,
know.
what am I gonna do? Yeah, totally. So, right. So I was in Bali and then I didn't have the water for a month. And within like a few days, I started to notice, but I didn't like attribute it to the water necessarily because I just didn't think of it. You know, I'm in Bali, I'm having my grand old time, just like, checking out beaches and enjoying the food and everything that Bali has to offer. And I ended up like noticing that I was having like my gut issues were coming back and my brain fog was back and I was having trouble sleeping and I was chronically dehydrated and I had acne again. And I was like, what is going on with my body? And I just didn't click right away. And then I had this aha moment where I was like, I haven't had Kangen water in a couple of weeks. Like, okay. And then I was able to get back to an area that did have the water and I drank it again and I took a sip and I almost cried. Like I have a reaction video of it somewhere in some amount of my content, or it's not like I never posted it, but anyway, I took like a video of it and I was like, oh my God. And I like cried a little bit. It was like being reunited. I'm going to say it this way. It was like being reunited with a lover.
Yeah, yeah. Because it's like home in a way, right? Like
And
there's
you
something about the water for sure. It's like home.
Right, and you like share that first, like it's like it was like the first kiss that I had shared with my water again after being gone for so long. And
Totally get it.
within 3 days, literally everything that I was experiencing cleared up, and I felt better again, and everything was back to normal, and it didn't hurt when I ate food, and my acne actually started to clear up, and I didn't have brain fog. It was and that was my moment where I was like, wow, I'm a full believer in this water. Like I believed it already because I have a science degree and I was like, I understand why this works. I understand why it's good, but I didn't have my own experience with it that I knew I was having. It's just like, because when you start to get better, then better becomes your normal. It's like, but
Right.
when you have that huge, like this is cut out of your life and then it comes back and you're like, oh my God, like what is this?
Yeah, it's
So
significant. It's very significant. Yeah. I should have charged my phone. I don't have that much battery left, but I wanted to ask one last question in regards to people that have been looking at this water or looking at coming into this space, but are kind of like, I don't know, or like investing, all these things. I'm curious what you would share about that might support someone to just, reach out and check out a webinar. Like, yeah.
totally. So first and foremost, I want to say that when I like felt the yes of joining this business, like I did not have the money to get started. Like I did not have it. As you may have heard earlier, I was stranded in Mexico. I needed to come up with money to get home and then get started to living in a house after I hadn't paid rent for like 6 years. And like I still made it happen. Oh, sorry, I'm having an emergency at my house.
Okay, no worries. My battery's
Okay,
almost dead
okay.
anyways. Are you
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, yeah. So I'll just like kind of finish up with like you can make it happen if you believe that you really want it, and like literally you make the decision and the universe lines it up for you. So
Thank you
yeah,
so much. It's good to see you, and I hope that everything's okay at your home.
thank you. Me too. All
Okay, talk to you soon.
right, talk to you soon. Thanks, babe.
Bye, Anandria. You're welcome.